made on Ridgeway Sports Podcast, episode 52. Hunter Keister back with
K-Mac. Let's get it. Let's go.
And we are back to talk another week in college football and in the sports world in general, as we just completed watching a wild week 13. It is 12:23 Eastern, another late night edition of the Made on Ridgeway Sports Podcast. And we come to you as almost all the games have finished up for Saturday. Washington is playing Washington State as the rivalry games are finishing up. As it just went to halftime, Washington is up 28-27 as they go to the locker room. But let's just quickly jump into this Georgia beatdown. They played Georgia Tech, and like we predicted, it was a Georgia handedly win. Stetson Bennett only had to throw the ball 18 times, 10 for 18, 140, 2 touchdowns, no picks. McIntosh, 12 for 86 in a touchdown. They had Milton and Edwards had 57 yards, and Milton had 56 yards in a touchdown. So they all kind of do decently on the ground, but looks like they just put up a lot of points. And
Yeah, I mean, I think in half it was 10-7, but good teams make adjustments and take over. They did.
Yep. McIntosh had an 83-yard pass caught. Bowers only had 5 receptions for 20 yards and a touchdown. You would like to see him get the ball a lot more from Georgia. But they get the win. Yeah, I mean, they definitely struggled. 10-7 at half is rough, but 13 in the third and then 14 in the fourth. It's just too much for little old Georgia Tech to handle.
More than enough.
Yeah. I mean, Gibson for Georgia Tech, 19 for 35, 191. They passed the ball quite a bit. Dante Smith only had 10 carries for 34 yards, and then a bunch of guys had 5 carries, but nothing going.
Can't be one-dimensional against Georgia and expect to win.
Yeah, nothing going. Nate McCollum had a pretty nice game, 6 for 65. He's really the only one worth mentioning, and it's just a handedly win for Georgia as they advance to face LSU in the SEC title game next week, I believe. I believe that is next week as well.
Next Saturday.
All right, Kurt. We got to get into it. We got to just get into it right off the rip. Second noon game on the schedule. Let's talk about it, Kurt. Michigan, number 3, traveled to Columbus, number 2. And this was a great game. Regardless of the score, Michigan kind of pulled away from this game. The final is 45-23.
Real late.
Yep. They pulled away late, but this game was absolutely down to the wire close. Both teams without multiple key players, and it was just make do with what you got for both teams, and they provided a good game. Let's talk about the losers from Columbus. They lose at home for the first time since 2000.
This is the first time we went down there and beat them in Columbus since 2000. So 22 years.
2 years. As long as I've been alive, this is the first time, and it felt good. I'll probably attach just some quick clips of the videos that we took. Just some, so we don't blow your eardrums out, but I'll just show you guys how we celebrated today, for sure. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Man. You see what's on that shirt. You know what's on there. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah. Burn, baby, burn. Oh, yeah. Nice this up. Oh, yeah. 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 Let's go. Let's go. No, it's killing me. it will be hell of fun. The thing is the voice of me. It's Johnny, it's all in me. I'll be an eagle eye. Coming to rise. Wow! Yeah! Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the clips from the Michigan-Ohio State game. And now we will get back to the regularly scheduled podcast. Enjoy the rest.
Yeah. Ohio State went 1 for 7 on
not,
third downs.
Not good on third downs.
That's not going to do it.
Yeah.
That's not going to do it.
Not good on third downs. I felt like they didn't run the ball very well. Mayan Williams.
They stopped running the ball the second half. That's what it was.
Yeah. Mayan Williams, I expected to see him a lot more. He only gets 8 carries, so that just shows how much he was banged up, as well as the Michigan side that we were talking about in a second. Chip Trey Anun, 14 for 83. That Dallas Hayden, who took over last week against Maryland, doesn't even really see the field. Only gets 2 rushes for 7 yards.
It's kind of maybe they should have ran the ball more,
right?
Because we got ran up.
We were getting
sure.
gassed in the first half. We were getting gassed real bad, and even into the third quarter, when they did run the ball, they were still gassing us. Receiving, I mean, you can't ask for much more from this Michigan defense. You know, Ohio State, regardless of the injuries, has one of the most lethal, best offenses in the country, and it did not disappoint. Emeka Mbuka actually leads the way for the Buckeyes, which I thought it was Marvin Harrison, but Emeka Mbuka has a great day. 9 receptions for 125 and 1 touchdown, a 44-yard long. Marvin Harrison, 7 receptions, 120 and a touchdown, a 42-yard long.
He's a cheat code.
Julian Fleming adds an 8 for 47, and that's pretty much it. Worth mentioning, Ohio State just can't get it done. I mean, like Kurt said, very, very bad again on third downs.
3 points in the second half.
3 points in the second half is terrible. 5 for 16 on, was that third down? Yeah. Yep. 5 for 16 on third down compared to 7 and 16 for Michigan. Ohio State does get more first downs, 23 compared to 16. Rushing attempts, Michigan finds a way to lead the way in rushing after, what, they have 10 coming out of the first half?
It was close to single digits at the end of the first half. We were not running the ball.
And they finished
very pass heavy.
252 to 143. That's incredible.
That's what I said last night. I said if we could run the ball, we're winning this. I know that for a fact.
No turnovers for the young Wolverines is absolutely huge.
For JJ.
And then to kind of come back and make that possession battle only have Ohio State lead by a couple minutes, you just can't ask for much more. This team had a great game plan. They came in, they executed, and they come away with the win without one of their best defensive players, their definitely best offensive player. Edwards is in a cast. They find a way, man. They find a way. They get it done for the first time in 22 years in Columbus, and it felt great. The videos don't do it justice. I had a great day watching this game, and it was incredible. But for you Ohio State fans, I wish a good game. But let's talk about the Wolverines now, man. Let's talk about the Wolverines now. Jaden McCarthy, 12 for 24, 263, 3 touchdowns, no picks.
3 of them.
Kurt, what does that mean? What does that mean to you to see a Michigan quarterback finally come into this game and dominate when we need him to?
It's great to know that what we said became true. We said at the beginning of the year, he will be the one to lead us in Columbus and get us the win.
Right.
You see him, only miss just a couple throws early in the game and really, come up big when we needed it. He came through for sure.
He made some huge throws.
No turnovers. And those the first one wasn't really him. It was really run after catch with Cornelius. But the other two, he threw them where they needed to be.
I said this to Kurt when the plays happened. I said, these are wide open throws to everybody else in the nation.
And that keeper, he kept the bot and just ran right through that DB. He was just like, you just love to see it.
I said JJ. I said he hit they were open throws, but at least he hit them because Michigan has had quarterbacks in the past that has whiffed on those throws. So he hit the ones that he needed to.
We've seen it before.
He does the game managing job that he needs to in this one. 12 for 24. He gets to 263. He hits the deep passes he needs to. Donovan Edwards comes out in the second half. No running game in the first half whatsoever.
None.
And he comes out and takes over 22, 216, 2 touchdowns as once again Ohio State gets dominated on the ground. Absolutely dominated. I wouldn't call last year's game a beatdown, but this was, by every stretch of the mean, a beatdown. Another great rushing attack for Michigan. 85-yard long and also a 75-yard run for Donovan Edwards.
To close it out, really.
J.J. McCarthy adds his 6 for 27. He had some really tough runs. He had a touchdown run.
That touchdown run was huge.
He had a run where he just bowled over the Ohio State defense, and you could just tell how badly he wanted this win in Columbus. Great heart from J.J. Doesn't start the best day, doesn't have the best first quarter, but the last 3, when it matters most, he gets it done. Blake Corum only able to play 2 snaps for 6 yards. The knee just doesn't hold up, and we get it done without him. This one was for you, Blake. You had a great year. I don't know where this puts Heisman contention because C.J. Stroud's basically out of it now with a game like this. But with Corum not playing, where did that put him, right? So who knows?
Might be Caleb Williams.
Right. Yeah, the USC quarterbacks looked very, very good. So, Cornelius Johnson, finally, we've been calling for this offense, this passing offense, that one of these veteran receivers from Michigan, besides Ronnie Bell, to make some plays. And honestly, he did. He routed up, I get they were open throws, but he routed up those couple throws for Michigan to get those long touchdown passes.
Absolutely. The first one was that 3rd and 9 pass play that JJ hit on a curl route. The blitz was coming right in his face. Cornelius breaks his man down and just goes all the way. There's nobody back there because they blitzed.
Right.
And the other one, he burnt that safety in that second one.
Right.
Oof. That man's was turned around.
That double move just got him leaning, and then it was...
That's what we needed.
Right.
We needed to throw the ball the first half because we had to. We had no choice.
We had no type of run game. Ronnie Bell also adds in 3 for 46. He was targeted quite a bit.
He had that big play to start off the game on that 3rd down where JJ went. He rolled to his left.
Rolled to his left, yeah, for sure. He made a big catch there. Like you said, Ronnie Bell just kind of comes in, makes big catches and completions, and is a good safety blanket for this Michigan offense. Gotta love him. Way to come back. What a comeback story after, costing Michigan the Penn State game. That fateful couple years ago, to where he's come now. A leader on this Michigan team, and he's leading the way right now. Colston Loveland had a nice touchdown grab
play was so nice.
For 45 yards.
It was a great play design.
Yep, just a great play design. JJ steps up in the pocket and delivers a strike.
It was like a play-action fake jet sweep.
Yep.
The pocket was nice. He was able to step up and just let it loose.
Let it loose, and he hits him. So, great pass. And Schoonmaker had 1 for 15. He was also banged up.
We were definitely targeting our tight ends.
Yeah.
Just going to get some of those throws.
It was nice that the guys that were banged up, we weren't really relying on them. We were able to give them a rest. We pick up the win, and we march on with the season. Defense. I really don't do this often, but Sanders still, we got to highlight him, man. A huge pass breakup on the tight end.
Yes.
To the end zone.
Game changer
In a really close game at the time.
If they score there, this could be a very different game.
That was huge. Rod Moore had a couple really nice breakups.
Yep.
Perfectly played. I know some people were booing and asking for flags, but come on. If you're going to ask or complain about the flags in this one, Ohio State fans, be real. Just be real. Because I think, unbiasedly, 100%, this game was called almost biasedly towards Ohio State with all the holding calls that they missed, but that's another story. We didn't need it. We still get the win.
How about how, nobody's mentioning this, how about when we got face mask, and then we ran the ball. The next drive, we got it. There was no face mask, but it looked exactly the same.
Right. Play looked exactly the same from the last drive.
And don't be mad, your players are headbutting us way after the play's over, way out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a very deserving misconduct penalty, to be honest. Headbutting out of bounds, way out of the play, come on.
Just run the field.
Just stupid. And Ryan Davis knew it. He threw him out, told him to get
Instantly.
out. He knew he was dumb, so... yeah, great game for Michigan. We'll move on with the podcast because I don't want to keep the Ohio State fans, in their sorrows during this podcast for too long. But how you like that one, guys? How you like that one? Michigan finally gets it done. Let's go. 45-23. Big win. Moving on, TCU trounces Iowa State. Whew. Matt Campbell, you just got rocked. We'll just go through this game quickly as it was not close. 62-14 TCU. Max Duggan, 17-24, 212, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Kendra Miller, leading rusher, 15 for 72 and 2 scores. Amani Bailey, 11 for 58. Savion Williams, 5 for 48 and a score. Dior Quarius Spivey, 3 for 43 and a score. And Jared Wiley, 3 for 36. Let's quickly look at Iowa State. They only mustered 14 points. They used 3 quarterbacks. I don't know what happened, but Hunter Deckers, 12 for 24, 106, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Rocco Bett, 7 for 13, 65 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. And Jalen Noel threw 1 pass, an incompletion. Eli Sanders, 7 for 91, and Contavious Norton, 12 for 71. So they had a good rushing game. They had a good rushing game in this one, but just couldn't put up the points to keep up with that TCU offense for sure. But that definitely shows a little bit on that TCU defense to go that many rushing yards to Iowa State. Let's look at Deshaun Hanka, 3 for 49 in a score. Jalen Noel, 7 for 40. Contavious Norton, 1 for 23. Nothing else really needed to be said there. Big win for TCU. They stay undefeated and keep their playoff hopes alive as they enter the Big 12.
Yeah, these rankings about to be
championship.
Who knows how these rankings about to be?
He whips Vanderbilt. Tennessee sits at 10th in the country with 2 losses. They beat Vanderbilt 56-0. Joe Milton plays in this game for Tennessee. I don't know what's going on. One other starting quarterback had a senior injury. So Joe Milton gets to play in this one and puts the smackdown on Vanderbilt. 11 for 21, 147, 1 touchdown, no interception. Jalen Wright, Jesus criminy, 5 for 160 and 2 touchdowns. He averaged 32 yards a carry.
That is insane.
And an 83-yard long.
Their other running back got an 80-yard touchdown, too.
12 for 131 and a score. And then the third running back got 2 rushing touchdowns.
6 rushing touchdowns.
Jeez. Oh, my gosh, Tennessee, that's insane. Jalen Hyatt, 3 for 86. Royal Keaton, 3 for 36. Squirrel White, 4 for 18. Tennessee, big win, 56-0. Michigan State, Penn State. Michigan State fights back towards the end, but still loses to the 11th ranked Nittany Lions, 35-16. Let's look at Michigan State in the defeat. With this defeat, by the way, Michigan State is not bowl eligible. So they will not go to a bowl game with only 5 wins on the season.
Was it like Tucker's 3rd losing season now?
Peyton Thorne, 24 of 43 passes thrown, 229, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Jalen Berger, the transfer, gets shut down, 7 for 14, nothing going. Elijah Collins puts in 10 for 33, and they get nothing going on the ground. Through the air, Keon Coleman, the only one to really do anything for the Spartans, 8 for 91. Trey Mosley, 4 for 52. Jaden Reed, only 6 for 36. Supposed to be the star receiver. Bum. Bum. Just no. Bum. Jalen Reed fumbled 3 times.
Wow.
He lost it twice, but fumbled 3 times. That is insane. Trash. Absolute trash. Now I see why he only got the ball. 6 receptions. Trash. Probably kept fumbling the ball every time we get it. Let's look at Penn State in the win, 35-16. Sean Clifford, 19-24, 200 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions.
What a game.
What a game against a very terrible Michigan State defense. Katron Allen puts in 21 for 82. Nicholas Singleton, 17 for 78 in a really good 1-2 combination. Keandre Lambert-Smith, 5 for 83 in a score. Theo Johnson, 3 for 52 and 2 scores. Nicholas Singleton, 3 for 30 in a score. Katron Allen, 3 for 24. Oh yeah, they spread the ball around quite a bit in the win. Kansas State and Will Howard pick up the win. 47-27. Dalen Daniels for Kansas, 20 for 32, 168, no touchdowns thrown. Devin Neal, 16 rushes, 59 yards, 2 touchdowns. The quarterback had 8 for 51 in a rushing score, and the other running back had 6 for 17 and 1 touchdown. So they had 4 rushing touchdowns in this game. Receiving the ball, their best receiver only had 3 for 48.
Oh my gosh.
Luke Grimm, Mason Fairchild, 4 for 41, and Lawrence Arnold, 4 for 26. Nothing going in the pass game.
No.
Will Howard and Kansas State in this win. They are ranked number 12. Will Howard, 11 for 21, 213, 2 touchdowns. Does what he needs to in the absence of Adrian Martinez. Deuce Vaughn, 25 carries, 147 touchdown. DJ Giddens, 9 for 44 and a score. Third running back, Malik Knowles, 3 for 38 and 2 scores. Wow. Deuce Vaughn had 2 for 82. Nobody really did anything through the air. 1 for 42, Sammy Willer. 2 for 38, Phillip Brooks. Yeah, nothing going on. Easy win for Kansas State in this one. Utah whoops on 1-win Colorado. Utah's at 14 at 9-3. Colorado's 1-11. 63-21. Maddox Cop
Massacre.
Gets massacred by Utah. His stat line, 15 for 28, 123, 1 touchdown, no interception. Anthony Hankerson, 8 for 46 in a score. Alex Fontenot, 7 for 11 in a score. Nothing going on the ground. Brady Russell, 4 for 39. Montana, Lamise Craig, 2 for 26. Zach Hester's 3 for 25. Through the air.
Yikes.
Nothing.
Yikes.
Utah sliced and diced this Colorado team, starting with Cameron Rushing. 7 for 19, 234, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. JaQuinton Jackson, 10 for 117 and 3 scores. Maki Bernard.
Sure, he's got more touchdowns than incompletions.
Absolutely. That's insane. Maki Bernard, the backup, 12 for 91 and a score. Jalen Glover, 13 for 62 and a score. What a rushing day.
That guy has a 62 yards.
Yeah.
On 2 carries. Good Lord.
Yeah, that's insane. Dalton Kincaid, 5 for 102 and a touchdown. Thomas Yasmin, 1 for 41 and a score. Money Parks, 4 for 40 and a score. And Makai Cope, 3 for 34 and a touchdown. Utah, big win. UCF, South Florida. UCF handles business with the close 46 to 39 win as South Florida gives UCF all they can handle. Everything they can handle. Looking at South Florida.
What a game.
What a game. Byron Brown, 13 for 20, 140, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Brian Battle, 19 for 144 and a touchdown. Byron Brown on the ground, 15 for 109 and 2 scores. Also, Mitchell Dukes, 5 for 16 and a touchdown. Receiving, Timmy Hahn Jr., 5 for 50. Holden Willis, 2 for 33. Looking at UCF, Mickey Keene, 15 for 19, 129, 2 touchdowns. The backup comes in.
Yeah, the backup was in there.
Plays a little bit. Rice Plumley, 9 for 9, 73 yards, touchdown. Rice Plumley also had 8 for 133 and 2 touchdowns. Wow. Is that the running back or what? Or backup quarterback? It's got to be backup quarterback. R.J. Harvey, 16 for 74 and a touchdown. And Isaiah Bowser, 16 for 54. Good, close win for UCF. We got Louisville, Kentucky. Unranked Kentucky beats 25 ranked Louisville.
Yep. Call that one.
Pretty sure we called that upset, yep. 26 to 13. Louisville with the loss. Brock Deman, 14 for 21, 129, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Malik Cunningham comes in 3 for 6, 16 yards and a pick. That's pretty bad.
That's not good.
I don't know why he played at all. Maybe he got an injury or something, but Tahar Jordan doesn't really do much. Or he does 22 for 145. That's a great game. Maurice Turner, 7 for 33. Louisville receiving. Tyler Hudson, 6 for 83 and a score. Not really else, nothing to talk about there. Kentucky, big win. Looking to get ranked again.
Looking to sneak back in.
They got 7 wins now. Will Lewis, the game manager, 11 for 19, 188, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Chris Rodriguez, 24 carries, 120. Jutan McClain, 10 for 50. Kentucky receiving. Josh
They didn't
Gaddis.
score on the ground. How did they score their other touchdowns?
Right.
Man?
Josh Gaddis, 2 for 75. Barry M. Brown, 4 for 44 in a score. Dame Key, 3 for 37 in a score.
Oh, they must have been 4 field goals then.
Bringing it back to closing it out with the night games. Texas A&M stuns 5 LSU. They were looking to try to play a little bit of spoiler, maybe finesse their way into the playoffs with a big SEC championship win. Texas A&M, 4 wins at the time, says no way. They beat them handedly, 38-23.
Yeah.
What a win for A&M. Just proving that ESPN was just trying to push LSU to the top, and they weren't really legit.
Nope.
I knew they weren't legit.
Frauds.
I knew it. Frauds. Jaden Daniels, 21 of 35. Still a solid game, but no touchdown passes. That's insane. Gotta have some touchdown passes if you're gonna win. This late in the season, I don't care who it is. SEC ball. Jaden Daniels led the way on the ground, but also doesn't put the ball in the end zone. The only person to put the ball in the end zone is the running back, John Emery. 9 for 55 and 3 scores. Malik Neighbors, 7 for 69. Nassan Boot, 4 for 43. Really all to write home about for LSU in this big loss. Connor Wegman, 12 for 8. Wigman. 12 for 18, 155, 2 scores, no touchdowns. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
For that run game.
Devon Akane, 38 for 215.
Carries.
38 for 215. He pulled a wannabe Haskins. He couldn't be that good though. 38, 215, 2 scores. Amari Daniels, 4 for 39. Looking at the A&M receivers, Moose Muhammad III.
Yo, he had some nice catches. That touchdown was nice.
He did have some nice catches. I did see those highlights. 5 for 94 in a score, 4 for 42 for Evan Store, and nobody else really does anything. But Texas A&M comes away with the huge win, knocking LSU. They can still win the SEC, but they are out of playoff contention, and that is huge for us. Another team that our rivals could use a loss out of if they want a chance is the USC Trojans, and unfortunately for them, they get a win over their rival Notre Dame by way of a 38-27 fashion from the Coliseum. Notre Dame just doesn't have the firepower to get it done, even though Drew Payne plays the game of his life. Honestly, I said firepower. I should have said Notre Dame doesn't have the defense to compete with USC because Drew Payne played the game of his life. 23 of 26, 318, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. That's insane. That's pretty good. The 1 pick you don't like, but that's insane. 3 incompletions, 1 being a pick. Insane. Running the ball, nothing really going on. Estimime, 6 for 43. Logan Diggs, 12 for 34 in a score. Notre Dame, Michael Mayer, the star tight end, who I had my one buddy who's a big Notre Dame fan said that he was better than Brock Bowers, but he was just drunk and talking shit.
That boy ain't better than Brock. Let
me know, is he better than Brock? Drop in the comment. He's good. He's up there, but is he better than Brock? Let us know. He comes up with an 8 for 98 and 2 scores in this big game against USC, where Georgia went quiet against Georgia Tech. Or Bowers went quiet.
Yep.
Bowers went quiet against Georgia Tech, so that's big. Deion Cozy, 3 for 75 in a score. And Notre Dame lost. Huge. Tough. Hate to see it. 8-4 in the year. Gotta look at Caleb Williams now. 18 for 22. 232. 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Austin Jones, 25. 154. Caleb Williams comes in, steals those touchdowns. 9 for 35. Literally lets Austin Jones did all the work. Caleb Williams comes in and steals those touchdowns.
Like a vulture.
Looking at the team receiving, Jordan Addison really doesn't do much. 3 for 45. Nobody really does a whole lot for. Or actually a whole bunch of people just got like 2, 3, 4 reception games for the USC receiving room.
Interesting way to distribute the ball, I guess.
Yeah. Not one big player. They all kind of got even targets, even catches. Gotta talk about the Iron Bowl next. 7, Alabama taking on unranked 5-win Auburn. Oof. And Alabama, this game did get kind of close in the third, but it was really never in doubt. 49-27, Bama rolls them. Robbie Ashford. To make matters worse for Auburn, their lead search head coach in the search for their new replacement, I thought was Lane Kiffin, and it came across the bottom of the screen on ESPN earlier tonight that he is reported to sign an extension at Ole Miss and continue what he has with the Rebels. So that's huge for Auburn. They miss out on a huge fish to try to get their coach back, but instead they got to fish for another one. But as for this one, only 11 of 23 for 77 yards. Terrible.
Wow.
1 touchdown, no interceptions. 3 running backs play really well for Auburn, though, that really keep them in this game. Jaquid Hunter, 11 for 134. Robbie Ashford, 17 for 121 and 2 touchdowns. Tank Bigsby, he was supposed to be the starter. He's like 3rd string. That's great. Oh, Robbie Ashford's obviously the quarterback, but you get the point. Tank Bigsby, 15 for 63. Auburn receiving, nobody. 2 for 25 is their best receiver. Cedric Jackson. Insane. That's terrible. Absolutely god-awful. Bryce Young, 20 of 30, 343, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Gibbs, Alabama, 17 for 76, 1 touchdown. Bryce Young, 5 for 48 and a score. Chase McClanahan, 11 for 44 and a touchdown. Receiving, Alabama spread the ball out quite a bit with Jermaine Burton, 3 for 87. Ja'Cory Brooks, 4 for 76, touchdown. Kendrick Law, 2 for 52. Isaiah Bonds, 4 for 36. Great win for Alabama, and they will get a great bowl game with only 2 losses.
Yeah, they're done.
They're done for the big stuff, but they'll still get a real good bowl game. South Carolina upsets number 8 Clemson. Heartbreaker. Clemson.
Snaps a 40-game win streak.
40-game, 5 seasons long, 40-game home win streak. 31-30. The 8-4 Gamecocks.
What a game.
DJ Uiagalelei chokes big time in this game. 8 for 29. 8 for 29, Kurt.
Oh my goodness.
8 for 29. That is absolutely terrible. How do they still put up 30 points? They're lucky to still put up 30 points. 99 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Shipley, running back, 15, 132, touchdown.
Shit, they got a defensive touchdown.
They must have, because they put up 30 and only had 3 touchdowns. So, yeah. DJ Uiagalelei does contribute nicely on the ground. 12 for 51 in a touchdown. Nothing through the air, though, that's for sure. Best receiver, Bo Collins, 2 for 65. Antonio Williams, the only receiving touchdown, 2 for 11. Crazy. Let's look at South Carolina in the upset. Spencer Rattler, he doesn't even really have the best day. 25 for 39, 360, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. It's a good day, but it's not like for a win you would think you play better than 2 interceptions. South Carolina has absolutely no running game. Their best rusher, Dallin Bell, 9 for 29 and a touchdown. Marshawn Lloyd, 11 for 16.
That is terrible.
Terrible. Antoine Wells, great day for him. 9 for 131 and 2 touchdowns, including a 72-yard long. He led the way for South Carolina. Juju McDowell got a 65-yard pass caught, and Nate Atkins added 4 for 62 in the win for South Carolina. What a game. Last game to wrap up this college football week. Oregon falls. Another long shot hopeful with 3 losses to kind of have some magic happen in their season. But no. Can't happen.
Nada.
Oregon State. Big win. 21 ranked. Takes out 9. Oregon 38-34. Bo Nix in the loss. 27-41. 327. 2 touchdowns. No interceptions. Noah Whittington, 16 for 81 and a touchdown. Bucky Irving, 13 for 52. Jordan James, 9 for 26 and a touchdown. Not much going besides Whittington. Throwing the ball for Oregon, Chase Cota, 9 for 136 and a touchdown. Troy Franklin, 8 for 78 and a touchdown. Terrence Ferguson, 1 for 53. Looking at the victorious Oregon State Beavers.
Man.
Ben Gobranson only completes 6 completed passes. They have 5 rushing touchdowns. He has the worst game of his life and they still win. He has the worst game.
That boy got carried.
He got hardcore carried. The worst game of his life and he still wins. 6 for 13. 80 yards, 60 yards, and 2 picks. Terrible.
And he runs for 2 touchdowns.
Damian Martinez, 15 for 103. Jam Griffin, 8 for 75. Fenwick, 8 for 53 and a score. Isaiah Newell, 2 scores. Cole Branson comes up where it matters most, at least puts 2 rushing touchdowns in. And they get the huge win to knock off and play spoiler to the Oregon Ducks.
It's going to create a lot of interesting conversation for those rankings, man.
Yeah, this next coming out is going to be crazy. We'll have to definitely dive deep into that in next week's podcast. As we check back in to the Washington State game, Washington is now up 35-33.
And to the third quarter.
As they just scored a touchdown to take the lead. 35-33. I think Washington went for 2 and got it. So they get the lead midway through the third quarter. And now that will take care of this week 13 in college football.
Here we go. Ron to Indianapolis.
If you are a Wolverines fan, and if you are not, head back home. Head back home where you belong. Sorry to burst your bubble, Stroudy.
Ooh.
What I am going to talk about to end this podcast is some of the Big Ten games that happened tonight. And just look at just pretty much look at what happened tonight. Look at Michigan game and the other game that took place. I don't know why Ohio State's score doesn't show on here, but it doesn't. Ohio State, that score doesn't show. Michigan State comes away with a big 4-0 win against Miami of Ohio. Harvard loses to Michigan in a 4-1 fashion.
Ooh.
Let's go. 2 for 2.
Go.
2 for 2. Michigan hockey come back, trying to climb the rankings right now as they're looking really low. And really, they're one of the worst in the Big Ten. But they're going to get it going. They get a big win against Harvard. Give them their first loss of the season. Their first regular season loss of the season. And Minnesota loses to Arizona State in overtime. 6-5. In what was a great game in Arizona. We already previewed those games. So we will talk more about hockey in the next podcast. But yeah, Kurt. Do you want anything more? Or, Kurt, let's hear. I got to hear who's your player of the game for both sides. I need some humility out of you. I want to hear who you think played the best from Ohio State's offense and defense, and as well as Michigan. And I'll give my players as well.
It's hard to really give one player. I mean, if I had to pick one, I'd probably say Marvin Harrison, just because when they threw him the ball,
he just made some unreal catches.
He's nasty.
Because some of those were on third down too.
If I'm giving anyone success or praise, I got to give the Ohio State O-line praise.
Yeah, they were able to control.
They were able to control the trenches the first half, and they gave Stroud all kinds of time for that whole game. I mean, that man could have made a sandwich. We were not pressuring him at all. He had plenty of time back there, so I give their line big praise. And on defense, I don't know. We didn't really get sacked. I don't think JJ really got sacked. It's kind of really hard to say who.
Right.
For them. I mean, because down the stretch, their defense collapsed.
Yeah, I got a guy in mind for sure. Jack Eichenberg. I believe he's got like 2 broken thumbs on his hands right now.
Yeah. And
he made some big tackles for them down the stretch. Stuffed a lot of the Michigan running attempts in the first half for sure.
Mm.
So, like Kurt said, they really fell apart down the stretch. So I'm just kind of looking at when Ohio State was at their peak of this game so early on. And Eichenberg was kind of highlighted the whole season. I think he was one of their best defensive players.
It's just like, what kind of adjustments do we make to where they didn't even... I don't remember Harrison Jr. doing anything the whole second half, though.
Yeah. He kind of...
Who made that one giant 44-yard reception to get it down, though? Towards the end of the game. When they were driving and then they threw that interception. Someone got like a 44-yard play. I don't remember if it was... the other
Luka,
one.
probably. Yeah. I think it was Mbuka.
But that's what they do, though.
Yep. I think that you can't ask for much more, man. Like we said, you're gonna give up plays, man. This is the number one offense. You can expect to be,
especially when we weren't even getting to them.
Right, and we didn't get any pressure at all this entire game.
There's a couple times we did.
Yeah,
but that was it.
It was strictly on our secondary, and for that I say and tip my cap to Minter for the game plan that he came up with, and just the secondary for realizing they were really not getting any help. The Ohio State offensive line came hungry, like Kirk said, and I will mention when I give my best players, their offensive line was a very strong unit for them today.
Even though we didn't have Big Mike, but still.
Right. It was huge. It was huge for them. And so, Kurt, I got to hear it. Who is it for Michigan for you, both sides?
You know what? I think it's time to praise them. For me, I'm going to go with J.J. McCarthy to step up big in this moment.
Horrid start. Missing easy throws.
Missed an easy 3rd and 5 throw to Ronnie Bell.
Missed we had 3 or 4 counted up easy.
They were throwing the
they weren't wide open, but they were open throws that he missed.
Yeah.
Or at least catchable balls that he just flat out missed.
A couple started out rough, but
and we just didn't know what he was going to look like. But he really settled in.
For him to just calm the nerves and just play as good as he did.
The way that he did the 3 quarters, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Not seeing it this year. This is the moment to do it in this environment. He got that rushing touchdown. He kept on. He played good on his legs when he needed to. He sent the play. Kind of wish we ran the read option a little bit more, but I'm picking him because turnover free. He didn't throw anything risky, man, and that in itself is pretty good to have. And defense, I'm gonna go with just that one play. The play that I think really won us that game was Mike Sanderstill with that pass breakup.
Oh, yeah.
To hold them to 3 and be up 31-23 with only being up 8 was big compared to they score there, go for 2, they might get it, might be just a 3-point game. And with 7.5 minutes left, who knows? But him getting that pass break open, he was a part of that coverage and how we were able to be successful today in the second half especially. So, those are my 2.
For sure. For Ohio State, for me, like I said, Eichenberg is my defensive player. He was just a force to be reckoned with and one of the great middle linebackers. As Ohio State did have a better defense. They didn't really look like it today, but overall, especially in the season, their defense was better, and Eichenberg was pretty solid for them up the middle. So I'll give it to him for defense. As Kirk kind of mentioned, they fell apart in the second half, so you really can't look at that. But when they did play well, he was making some tackles and stuffing that run nicely. So I'll give it to him. On offense, I feel like Marvin Harrison or Mbuka, you go either way. Mbuka, I'm going to give it to Mbuka just because you kind of expect that on Marvin Harrison. Not saying that he didn't have some insane, just out of this world catches, but you kind of expect that, right? He's a NFL Hall of Famer kid receiver, but Mbuka was young, and he made some. He ran some nice routes. He got himself open, made some nice catches. So I'll give it to him for Ohio State's best offensive player from me in their defeat. And let's go over to the victors. Michigan, baby. On offense, I want to give this. It deserves to go to JJ. I love the heart of Donovan Edwards to play through his hand injury, so I feel like he deserves it. I want to give it to Blake Corno just because I know he didn't play at all, but the whole season he made it. He got us here.
He put us in this position.
He got us here, and like Kurt said, you could just see it in his eyes, the pain, and it hurt every time they panned to him on the sidelines. It hurt seeing that because you could just tell. You could tell how bad he wanted to go. Especially when, one of the running backs, you could just see him cringe and kind of just chomping at the bit trying to get out there. But The knee wasn't good enough. He got some time to heal, though. But if I'm looking at it, I feel like JJ deserves it, man. Like I said, just those 3 quarters, man. He misses 3 to 4 easy ones in the first, and we're all like chattering our teeth and just like praying, please JJ get it together. And he really steps it up when he has to. Big touchdown throws. Like I said earlier, hits the open ones, made some tight window throws to Coles and Loveland. Ronnie Bell had a nice couple receptions. Offensive one, going to JJ McCarthy. Big reason why we won in Columbus today. Let's go. Woo. Defense. Great day all around. Looking at DJ Turner. I knocked him all season. First half, when it was close, he was boxing Marvin Harrison for the most part when they were matched up. He made a big pass on him with a big snag, and that was just a great catch. His deep touchdown pass was given up by Jamon Green. You can't really blame him. I mean, he left him one-on-one on a really bad call, a safety blitz, but that was only Jesse Minter's really only bad call of the day. He made up for it the rest of the way out. But DJ Turner, I cracked on the whole year, and he came up big against Marvin Harrison. The whole defense played really well in the second half, but when this game was really close, DJ Turner came to play. So I want to give it to him. I think the defensive line stepped up big in the absence of Mike Morris. No pass rush, but they found a way to stop the run, especially later on in the game. Well, Ohio State went away from it for sure. A little bit.
They definitely didn't. They didn't stick with it.
Yeah. They could have ran it more, but Michigan did eventually find some ways to stop that run.
When they needed to, yeah.
But I think I would go either DJ Turner or Mike Sanders still. One of those guys in the secondary, just with those receivers and how good they are, one of those corners deserved it. So, let's go, boys. Great win in Columbus. And I can't think of a better way to close out the podcast, Kurt. Talk about the win in Columbus.
There isn't. This is the first one.
For the Michigan faithful, we did it. 22 agonizing years. And we finally beat them in Columbus. Let's go. What a game. What a great day. Good day of college football. And, Kurt, is that it?
Yeah. To conference championship week we go.
Yep.
Michigan, Purdue.
Yep, Michigan, Purdue is now set. I believe it
8 p.m.
It's set for 8 p.m.
Next Saturday night.
So that will be a nice night game to watch. For Michigan fans, go blue. Everybody else, I hope you enjoyed your weekend, your Thanksgiving weekend, and I hope you enjoyed watching us win. This was a great week in sports. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys enjoy the NFL Sunday tomorrow. It'll feel a little bit better after today for sure.
Oh yeah, we're just going to have a good time tomorrow.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Rest up. Let's get healthy. Let's go win a Big Ten championship for real. Let's make it back to the playoffs for a second straight
I'm ready to run
season.
it back. Let's run it back.
Run it back. Let's go. Great game. Great win. Way to go. Go blue.
Go blue.
Like, comment, subscribe. Comment, Ohio State fans. I really want to hear it. I felt like we were pretty humble in that one. Didn't really take too many shots. Great game on both sides. Big win for Michigan. We needed it. We wanted it more. Hats off to them. Hats off to the opponent for making this the best rivalry in all of sports. And so I have to say, sound off in the comments both ways, Michigan, Ohio State fans. Let's hear it. How do you feel? Like, comment, subscribe. Made on Ridgeway Sports Podcast 52.
Peace.
Peace.